The solemn feast of the Epiphany of our Lord is sometimes called Three Kings. It is one of the oldest Christian feasts, and traditionally occurs on January 6th. It follows the 12 days of Christmas. Epiphany marks the end of the Christmas season for the Western Church. On the solemnity we remember the biblical event of the visit of the Magi, three kings, to the stable in Bethlehem following the birth of Jesus. In the Bible their story is recounted in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 2. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. And going into the house they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they offered him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. The three kings, Casper, Melchior, and Balthasar, and their arrival from the east bearing gifts of gold, frankincense and myrrh for the infant Jesus on this day. After seeing the brilliant star in the night sky announcing the birth of the Messiah, the three wise men or Magi followed the star which took them to Bethlehem. There they visited King Herod of Judea seeking information on where to find the newborn king. Not having heard of the arrival of the baby Jesus, and fearing the infant would be a threat to his position as king, Herod instructed the three wise men to seek out the location of the Christ child and return, to let him know where he was, so that Herod could visit and take him gifts as well. The Magi found the infant Jesus and honored the greatest of all kings as he lay in his crib in a humble stable, but they did not return to reveal his whereabouts to Herod. Instead, directed by God in a dream, they returned home by another route. With no information about the whereabouts of the Messiah, Herod proceeded to have his troops slaughter all infants under the age of 2 to remove the possible threat to his throne. But as we know, the baby Jesus escaped Herod's intentions. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, January 6th is celebrated as the Nativity of Christ, and instead of three kings, the Magi are depicted as 12 in number. But for Western Christians, the Magi are only 3 in number, with each representing one of the world's 3 main races: African, Asian, and European. Until the Magi's arrival, all characters in the Christmas story are Jewish, but with the arrival of three kings, we have the first indication that Jesus and his message are universal and that Christ arrived on earth to preach to the whole world. The earliest reference to Epiphany, from a Greek verb meaning to manifest, occurred sometime around 354 AD. This was when the Western Church separated the celebration of the Nativity of Christ as the feast of Christmas and reserved January 6th as the commemoration of the manifestation of Christ, especially to the Magi. On the feast of the Epiphany, priests wear white vestments. In many countries the feast is extended from 1 day to 8 days in what is known as the Octave of Epiphany, which begins on January 6th and ends on January 13th. In countries, such as Australia and Canada, where the Feast of the Epiphany is not regarded as a holy day of obligation, the date of Epiphany varies slightly from year to year and is always celebrated on the first Sunday that falls between January 2nd and January 8th. The word Epiphany means to manifest. Pious customs among Christians have placed the letters, using chalk, CMB and the year above doorposts relating to the blood on the doorposts of the Old Testament. CMB means Christus Mansionum Benedicat in Latin, may Christ bless this dwelling place. CMB also stand for the three Magi: Casper, Melchior, and Balthasar. Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.